For centuries, fishermen have told stories of ocean giants, massive creatures that shouldn't exist, beings that seem to come from another time. Some say they're ancient survivors. Others believe they're something entirely new, mutations of the deep, born where light never reaches. But when cameras started rolling, the legends became real. These are the 10 ocean giants fishermen caught that scientists can't explain. Before we dive in, tell me, where are you watching from and what time is it for you? And if you love exploring the unknown, make sure to subscribe and join us as we uncover the ocean's greatest mysteries. Now, let's begin. Number 10. The monster beneath the 50-foot unknown. Happened off the coast of Japan in 2018. A group of seasoned fishermen were pulling in their lines when something massive tugged back. At first, they thought it was a whale tangled in their nets, but what surfaced moments later wasn't a whale, it was something else. Long, ridged scales shimmered under the surface, reflecting silver and green like armor. The head was unlike any known sea creature, elongated, with glassy eyes that seemed to stare right through them. The body was covered in overlapping plates, not smooth skin. The creature moved slowly but powerfully, as if the water barely resisted it. When they tried to record, the creature sank back into the depths, leaving behind a broken net and a sonar reading showing a mass over 15 meters long. Marine biologists analyzed the footage, but couldn't match it to any known species. Some said it might be a deep-sea oarfish, mutated by environmental changes. Others believed it could be an undiscovered relative of prehistoric reptiles. Whatever it was, the ocean had just reminded everyone, how little we really know about its inhabitants. Number 9. The giant from Chile's coast near the small port of Talcahuano, Chile, 2011. Local fishermen hauled in something so enormous, it took 3 boats to tow it back to shore. At first, people thought it was a decomposed whale carcass till they saw the tentacles. Dozens of them, tangled together, each several meters long. The fishermen called it El Gigante del Mar, the giant of the sea. Its body was unlike a squid's. The tentacles weren't lined with normal suction cups. They were ringed with hard, bony hooks. Its flesh was pale blue, and it emitted a faint bioluminescent glow even after death. Samples were sent to marine laboratories in Santiago, but the DNA didn't match any known cephalopod. Scientists suggested it might be a hybrid species, possibly the deep-sea cousin of the colossal squid, adapted to extreme pressure zones near underwater volcanoes. To this day, the full carcass was never recovered, mysteriously vanishing after being loaded for transport. Some say it was stolen. Others claim it was buried by the government to prevent panic. Number 8. The Indonesian leviathan, 2017. A strange carcass washed ashore in Indonesia's Maluku Islands. Locals thought it was a giant squid at first, but as the tide receded, they realized this was something else entirely. The creature was over 50 feet long, covered in thick, fibrous material resembling fur more than skin. Its mouth structure didn't fit any known animal, and its bones, if you could call them, that were soft, flexible, and porous. Experts flew in, calling it a possible baleen whale in advanced decay, but others disagreed. The tissue samples didn't match. There was no vertebrae alignment, no tail fin, and the internal organs were unrecognizable. Videos of the event went viral, showing villagers standing beside this massive, alien-like mass, its surface oozing with blood-like fluid. The stench was unbearable. To this day, no one can fully identify what that creature was. Some scientists quietly refer to it as a deep pressure mutation, possibly a species that lives near the Mariana Trench and only surfaces when it dies. Number 7. The Atlantic enigma. The black giant fisherman off the coast of Nova Scotia in 2013 recorded something enormous circling their trawler. At first, they thought it was a pod of whale's butt. As the object neared the surface, they saw a massive black shape with a rough, armored hide and a dorsal fin twice the height of a human. One witness described it as a shark, but not like any shark we know. It followed their vessel for nearly 20 minutes before vanishing beneath the waves, leaving behind massive whirlpools and a deep humming sound picked up on sonar. When marine researchers reviewed the footage, they confirmed that the sonar readings indicated a creature over 20 meters long, larger than any recorded great white or basking shark. Some believe it could be a surviving megalodon, though skeptics call it a misreading caused by temperature shifts or sonar interference. Still, no one could explain the black scales that appeared momentarily on video, gleaming like obsidian in the light. Number 6. The Baltic beast in 2009. Fishermen in the Baltic Sea made one of the most bizarre bizarre catches ever recorded. Their nets became impossibly heavy. When they pulled them up, they discovered a mass of flesh that looked more plant than animal. It moved. The creature had translucent, jelly-like skin that shimmered with internal lights. Long tendrils extended from its body, wrapping around anything that touched it. The fishermen immediately released it, fearing it was toxic. But before they did, they captured a short, shaky video. When scientists analyzed the footage, they noted something remarkable. The creature's movements showed coordinated muscle contractions. Not random drift proof, it was alive and intelligent. Some theorize it could be a new form of siphonophore, a colonial organism made up of hundreds of tiny beings that act as one. Others think it's an entirely new classification, perhaps a life form adapted to live where light, oxygen, and heat can't reach. The Baltic beast has never been seen again. Number 5. The monster of the Arabian Sea. Began off the coast of Oman in 2014. A small crew of tuna fishermen were trawling in deep waters when something enormous caught on their sonar. The object appeared motionless, hovering at 200 meters below. Then it moved. The crew thought it was a whale, but as the radar image grew clearer, panic spread across the deck. The creature was longer than their entire boat, with a mass so dense it nearly broke their sonar calibration. When the crew lowered a GoPro camera into the water, what they saw made their blood run cold. A massive silhouette glided beneath them, shaped like a serpent, but with enormous fins trailing from its sides. Its head was flattened, its mouth wide, and glowing streaks ran down its body like rivers of light. For a few seconds, the creature turned toward the camera, revealing a reflective eye the size of a dinner plate before vanishing into the black. When the footage surfaced online, experts initially dismissed it as edited, but when the raw data was examined, the sonar readings matched the camera's timeline. Whatever it was re-land. It was bigger than a blue whale. No known marine species fits the creature's outline. Some call it the Arabian leviathan. Others think it's an undiscovered deep-sea species. Adapted to crushing pressures and zero light, the crew never went back to that part of the ocean again. Number 4. The Pacific Phantom in 2019. Fishermen near the Mariana Basin area, not far from the world's deepest trench, captured something that shouldn't exist. Their net surfaced, carrying a huge dark mass that pulsated and moved as if breathing. The fishermen quickly pulled back, thinking it was an old submarine cable. But then the mass began to emit a dim blue glow. When they looked closer, they saw a creature that appeared gelatinous, but with visible veins running through its body, each one pulsing with light. It had no visible mouth, no eyes, and yet, as they circled it, the creature seemed aware of their presence. It was over 20 feet long, shaped almost like a manta ray, but softer, boneless, and completely transparent. When marine biologists reviewed the footage later, they were stunned. It didn't match any known invertebrate. Some suggested it might be a giant siphonophore, but the body was too solid. Others theorized it could be an ancient form of jelly life, a creature that exists under pressures 8 times stronger than a submarine hull can withstand. But the most chilling part, before the crew could release it, the creature split apart into several glowing fragments. Each fragment swam away on its own. To this day, scientists can't explain what that means. Was it reproducing, escaping, or something more complex? Number 3. The Norwegian depth serpentine, the coast of Norway, deep in the icy waters of the North Atlantic. A group of fishermen in 2015 experienced something that would haunt them for life. While pulling up their long line traps, they felt an immense pull, so heavy that one of the steel cables snapped clean in two. The boat tilted dangerously as they tried to stabilize. Then something enormous broke the surface. A serpentine body, thicker than a telephone pole, glided past the hull. Its skin shimmered with metallic hues, like oil spreading on water. But what terrified the crew most were its fins, thin, translucent wings that spanned across the surface like sails. The creature circled the vessel twice before descending into the abyss, leaving behind swirling eddies and a low frequency hum that vibrated through the hull. Sonar readings showed it was at least 30 meters long, longer than a city bus. Scientists compared it to the oarfish, but the structure didn't match. The fins, the color, and the sonar density all suggested something else. Something far denser and faster. After the video leaked, marine experts proposed it could be a living descendant of a prehistoric marine reptile. possibly an adaptation of a pliosaur lineage thought to be extinct for 60 million years. If true, that means something ancient is still alive in the cold darkness of the North Atlantic. Number 2. The creature beneath the ice. The next encounter didn't happen in open ocean, but beneath it. In 2013, a Russian research team studying methane vents under Arctic ice drilled through a frozen section of the lobster. See, their remote camera descended over 400 meters before hitting something soft. Then the feed went dark. They thought the cable had tangled until the camera began moving sideways. Something was dragging it. When they pulled the line back up, most of the camera housing was crushed, but a few frames survived. The recovered footage showed what looked like a smooth, pale surface moving past the lens, followed by a massive slit that opened like an eye. Then the video cut out completely. Experts called it equipment malfunction, but the research logs revealed something strange. After the incident, sonar detected a moving object under the ice, measuring over 80 meters in length, larger than any known sea creature on Earth. Some suggest it might be a colossal, unknown organism adapted to subglacial life, feeding on methane and bacteria. Others whisper a simpler explanation: it was alive and watching. That research station has since been decommissioned. Number 1. The Great Shadow of the South Pacific Hour. Number 1 story comes from a classified naval recording leaked in 2016. The footage, believed to originate from a U.S. submarine, shows a sonar contact moving at depths below 10,000 meters near the Tonga Trench, an area nearly as deep as the Mariana. The sonar operator described the object as a moving ridge, massive, slow, and completely silent. The reading showed a body length of over 250 feet, with rhythmic pulses that resembled a heartbeat. When the submarine rose closer for a clearer scan, the sound grew louder, a deep, resonant thud echoing through the hull. Then, suddenly, the contact vanished. For years, the footage was dismissed as sonar interference until a civilian fishing vessel recorded a similar reading 2 years later in the same region. Witnesses claimed they saw a shadow pass beneath their boat, bigger than the ship itself, leaving behind a trail of bubbles that stretched for miles. When the story broke, scientists refused to comment, but leaked data from marine tracking buoys revealed large-scale disturbances in water pressure patterns that lined up exactly with the reported incident. Some experts quietly admit, whatever it was, it's still down there, and it's still moving. From unidentified carcasses to sonar contacts larger than submarines, these encounters challenge everything we think we know about life in the ocean. For every species we've cataloged, there may be 10 more waiting in the darkness, far below where light and logic can reach. So the next time you look out over the ocean, remember, somewhere beneath those waves, something ancient is watching us back. Tell me in the comments, which creature do you think is real? And before you go, subscribe for more stories of the unknown, because down there in the uncharted black of the deep, the story is just beginning.